right, everybody, buckle up, because today we're taking a deep dive into AI frontiers beyond the horizon.
Yeah, this report, it's amazing.
It really is. And it's not just looking at, all the cool AI stuff that's happening right now, but really what AI could become.
It's all about the future.
Exactly. And some of the things in here, we're talking AI that might be conscious chips that work like the human brain, and even quantum AI.
Quantum AI is really interesting.
Oh, yeah. That could solve problems we didn't even think were possible.
Right, like things we can't even conceive of right now.
So let's jump right in. First stop, Google's Willow 2.0.
Okay.
Now, this isn't just, your average computer chip. This is a quantum AI chip.
Right. It uses quantum mechanics.
Okay, so back up a second. For me, explain, I'm 5. What is quantum mechanics?
Well, you know how we have physics?
Yeah.
It's kind of like that, but even weirder.
Okay.
It's like physics, but on an atomic level.
Yeah.
And it's a world where, the rules of physics that we're used to don't always apply. In the quantum world, things can exist in multiple states at once.
It's
called superposition.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's wild. So these quantum computers, because of that, are able to kind of explore all these possibilities at the same time. So that makes them so much faster than regular computers.
Way faster. They can solve problems that would take a traditional computer billions of years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's where Willow 2.0 comes in.
Right.
And this is harnessing this quantum weirdness to supercharge AI.
Exactly. Willow 2.0 uses these things called qubits.
Okay.
And they can be in a superposition of states.
Right.
So that means that they can do calculations in a way that traditional computers just can't.
So what does that actually mean, though, for us? Day to day in the real world, what can we do with that?
Well, imagine simulating climate change.
Okay.
But with an accuracy that we've never been able to do before.
Right.
Or designing new materials, literally atom by atom.
Yeah.
Yeah. Willow 2.0 is really pointing to a future where we can use AI to manipulate the building blocks of the universe.
That is mind-blowing. Okay. Well, let's shift gears a little bit to something even more profound, AI consciousness.
Okay.
The Sentience Project, it's this collaboration with researchers at MIT and DeepMind. They're looking into this question. Could AI actually become self-aware?
It's a really interesting question.
It is.
And it's something that people have been thinking about for a really long time.
Right.
What does it even mean to be conscious?
Yeah.
Is it self-awareness? Is it emotions? Or is it something totally different?
Right. It's not like the AI is going to wake up one day and be like, hello, I'm thinking.
Right. Exactly.
So how do we even approach that question?
Well, they're doing a lot of different things.
Okay.
They're analyzing brain activity. They're developing new theoretical frameworks for understanding consciousness.
Okay.
The goal is to move past just thinking about it philosophically and actually develop concrete methods for figuring out if an AI is conscious.
So they're trying to figure out if AI could actually feel.
Yeah.
That is wild.
Yeah. It brings up questions about what does it mean to be intelligent? What are the ethics of creating a machine that can think and feel?
Right.
What does it mean to be alive, even?
Yeah, we're going deep here.
Oh, yeah.
All right, well, let's shift gears again and talk about AI that's more like us in the way it thinks.
Yeah.
BrainChip has developed this thing called the Akida chip.
Okay.
And it actually mimics the structure of the human brain.
Yeah, this is called neuromorphic computing.
Okay.
And it's all about designing chips that function like a brain.
So we're building AI with brains.
Kind of.
What?
Instead of using transistors like a traditional computer, these chips use artificial neurons and synapses.
Really?
Yeah.
That sounds like straight out of science fiction.
It does, but it has a lot of potential benefits. These chips are super energy efficient, and they're really good at things like pattern recognition and learning.
Oh, wow. So that would be great for robotics?
Exactly. Or self-driving cars. Yeah.
Or even personalized medicine.
So a phone that can recognize your emotions or a car that learns your driving habits.
Exactly. So neuromorphic computing is really a key step in developing AI that's not just intelligent, but also intuitive and adaptable like us.
Like us. All right. Well, all this talk about brain power is making me think about powering the world.
Okay.
TAE Technologies is using AI to control fusion reactions.
Wow.
Which could solve our energy crisis.
That's a big one.
It is.
Fusion is the same process that powers the sun.
I know.
It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, so where does AI come in?
Well, the challenge with fusion is controlling this super hot plasma that you need for fusion to occur.
Right.
And EAE Technologies using AI to control and optimize the magnetic fields that contain and heat that plasma.
So AI is basically trying to tame a mini sun?
Kind of, yeah.
Is this even possible?
Well, fusion is a really, really complex field,
Yeah.
and there are still a lot of challenges.
Right. But the progress that they're making with these AI-powered control systems is really encouraging.
Okay.
And if it works, it could totally revolutionize energy.
Yeah, no more fossil fuels.
Exactly. We could have clean, safe, and almost unlimited power.
That would be amazing.
It would.
Okay, well, I need to pick my job off the floor after that fusion revelation.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible.
It is. But let's move from powering the world to shaping it.
Okay.
This report talks about something called social simulation AI,
Interesting.
where researchers at Stanford are using AI to model societies.
Oh, wow. I know.
So they can run simulations
Yeah.
to see how different scenarios might play out.
So we could use AI to predict the future of society.
Kind of, yeah. It's like having this giant sandbox where you can test out different ideas before you try them in the real world.
That's awesome. What kind of things are they looking at?
All sorts of things.
Okay.
Like the impact of climate change on migration,
Okay.
or what would happen if we change our education policies.
That makes sense. So by modeling these systems, we can get insights and make better decisions.
But is there a risk of bias?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Okay,
The models are only as good as the data that you seed them.
right.
So researchers are working on ways to reduce bias and make sure the models are fair.
So we're teaching AI to be ethical.
Pretty much. Yeah. It's a big responsibility.
Okay, well, let's go back to quantum AI for a second.
Okay.
I'm still trying to wrap my head around it. It's like magic, but with math.
It is pretty mind-bending.
So quantum computers use quantum mechanics,
Right.
where particles can exist in multiple states at the same time. You said that's called superposition.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like a coin that can be both heads and tails at the same time.
Exactly.
Okay, so instead of bits that are either 0 or 1,
Right.
we have qubits that can be both.
Exactly.
Okay, I think I'm starting to get it.
Great.
And you said Google's Willow 2.0 is a quantum AI chip.
Right.
What could we use this for in the real world?
Well, one area is drug discovery. Imagine simulating molecules at the atomic level.
It's okay.
You could design drugs so much faster
Wow.
and more precisely than we can today.
So this could really revolutionize medicine.
Oh, absolutely.
What about climate change? Could quantum AI help us with that?
Definitely climate modeling is really complex.
Yeah.
It has so many variables,
Yeah.
but quantum AI could help us understand these systems better.
Okay.
And that would let us predict the effects of climate change more accurately and come up with solutions.
So quantum AI really does have the potential to solve some of the world's biggest problems.
It really does.
But are there any downsides?
Well, like any powerful technology, it could be misused.
Okay.
Like imagine someone using quantum AI to break encryption.
Yeah, that'd be bad.
Yeah, it could compromise sensitive data or even national security.
So we need to be careful.
We do. We need to have ethical guidelines and regulations in place.
Right, to make sure this technology is used for good.
Exactly.
It's a double-edged sword.
It is.
But I think we need to be optimistic about the potential of quantum AI.
Me too. I think it can make the world a better place.
Okay, let's get back to AI consciousness.
Okay.
We've talked about AI solving problems and shaping societies.
Right.
But if AI becomes conscious, how does that change our relationship with these machines?
That's a really deep question.
It is.
You know, if we create machines that experience the world like we do, it changes how we think about what it means to be human.
Right, it brings up all these ethical questions about how we treat them.
Exactly.
Do they have rights?
Do they have responsibilities?
It's like we're entering a whole new realm of existence.
We are. It's exciting and scary at the same time.
Okay, well, I need a minute to process all of this.
Yeah.
We've covered a lot today.
We have.
From quantum AI to AI consciousness.
It's a lot to take in.
It is. But it's clear that the future of AI is full of possibilities.
Definitely.
And it's up to us to shape that future.
We have a responsibility to make sure AI is used for good.
So what are your final thoughts on this journey through AI frontiers?
Well, I think this report shows that AI is not just a tool, it's a partner.
Okay.
It can help us solve our biggest challenges
Right.
and create a better future.
A future that was once science fiction is now becoming reality.
Exactly.
It's awe-inspiring and a little unsettling,
Yeah,
but ultimately I think it's a future filled with hope and potential.
I agree.
And I think that potential starts with us having these
It
conversations.
does.
So thank you for joining me on this incredible deep dive.
It's been my pleasure.
I hope you're leaving with a sense of wonder and maybe even a few new dreams for the future.
Me too.
All right, well, we've just scratched the surface of AI frontiers.
There's so much more to explore.
So stay tuned for part 2.
I can't wait.
Wow, that was a lot to unpack about AI consciousness.
It really was.
But let's move on to a different type of AI that's a little bit more uh, tangible.
Okay.
That's BrainChip's Akida chip.
Okay.
And it actually mimics the structure of the human brain.
So this is what's called neuromorphic computing.
Neuromorphic computing.
Yeah, and it's all about making chips that function more like biological neural networks.
So it's like we're building AI with actual brains.
It kind of is. Instead of relying on transistors like traditional computers, these chips, they actually use artificial neurons and synapses.
Wow, so why is that better? Why is that an improvement?
Well, for one thing, these chips are incredibly energy efficient,
Okay.
which is a huge deal. And they excel at things like pattern recognition and learning.
So that would make them perfect for like robotics
Exactly.
or self-driving cars.
Exactly. They could also be used in personalized medicine.
So this is like that phone that can recognize your emotions that everybody is talking about.
Exactly. Or a car that learns your driving habits and anticipates your needs.
Okay, so neuromorphic computing is a key step in developing AI. That's not just intelligent, but it's intuitive and adaptable like us.
Right. It's taking inspiration from the human brain to create AI that's more human-like.
So speaking of brain power,
Yeah.
how about powering the world?
Nope.
Okay, let's talk about TA Technologies.
Right.
They are using AI to control fusion reactions.
Yeah. Fusion's a big one.
It's the holy grail of clean energy.
It is. It's the same process that powers the sun.
I know it's amazing, but it's really hard to do.
It is the challenge is controlling the extremely hot plasma that you need for fusion to occur.
So how is AI helping with this?
Well, TAE Technologies is using AI to control and optimize the magnetic fields that contain and heat the plasma.
Okay, so AI is basically trying to tame a mini-sun. That's one way to put it. That's pretty incredible. What are the chances of them actually pulling this off?
It's definitely a long shot. Fusion energy is notoriously difficult to achieve.
Yeah.
But the progress that they're making with these AI-powered control systems, it's giving people hope.
So if they're successful, what would that mean for the world?
It would be a game changer. We could have a world with abundant, clean energy.
No more fossil fuels.
Exactly. No more energy scarcity. It would be a huge step towards a more sustainable future.
I'm trying to imagine what that would look like. It's hard to even fathom.
It's a future that's hard to predict, but it's definitely one worth striving for.
Okay, well, I need a moment to catch my breath after that fusion talk.
Yeah, it's a lot to take in.
It is. But let's move on to something that's a little bit more down to earth.
All right.
This report talks about something called social simulation AI.
Okay.
And it's where researchers at Stanford are using AI to model societies.
That's interesting. So they're basically creating simulations of how societies work.
Right, and they can use these simulations to test out different scenarios and policies.
Yeah, it's like a virtual laboratory for studying society.
So we could actually use AI to predict the future of society.
In a way, yes, these simulations can help us understand how different factors might influence the future.
That's pretty powerful stuff. What kind of things are they looking at?
Well, they're exploring a wide range of issues from climate change to education to economics.
Oh.
They're trying to understand how these different systems interact and how they might evolve over time.
That makes sense. But how do we make sure that these models are accurate and unbiased?
That's a really important question. The accuracy and fairness of these models depend heavily on the data that's used to train them.
Right. Garbage in, garbage out, as they say.
Exactly. So researchers are working on ways to ensure that the data is representative and that the models are free from bias.
So they're trying to teach AI to be ethical.
You could say that it's a crucial part of developing AI that we can trust.
Okay, well, let's loop back to quantum AI for a minute.
Sure.
I'm still trying to wrap my head around how this technology actually works. It seems like magic, but with math.
It is a bit mind-bending, but it all comes down to the principles of quantum mechanics.
Right, you were explaining that earlier about superposition,
Exactly.
where a particle can be in multiple states at once.
Right. It's like that coin that can be both heads and tails at the same time.
I'm starting to see the picture. So
Yeah.
instead of bits, which are either 0 or 1,
Right.
we have these qubits, which can be both.
Exactly. And that's what gives quantum computers their power.
Okay, so you said Google's Willow 2.0 is a quantum AI chip.
Yes.
What are some of the real-world applications that we could see from that?
Well, one area where quantum AI could have a huge impact is drug discovery.
Yeah.
Imagine being able to simulate the interaction of molecules at the atomic level.
So we could design drugs that are much more effective and have fewer side effects.
Exactly. We could also develop new drugs much faster.
Wow, that would be
It
incredible.
would be a revolution in medicine.
What about climate change? Could quantum AI help us with that?
Absolutely. Climate modeling is incredibly complex,
Yeah.
but quantum AI could give us the power to understand these systems in a way that we never could before.
And that could lead to new solutions for mitigating climate change.
Exactly. We could develop more effective strategies for reducing emissions and adapting to the changing climate.
So it sounds like quantum AI has the potential to solve some of the biggest challenges facing humanity.
It has the potential to transform our world in ways that we can only imagine.
But I also wonder about the potential downsides. Could this technology be used for harmful purposes?
That's a valid concern. Any powerful technology can be misused.
Right.
Quantum AI could potentially be used to break encryption or develop autonomous weapons.
That's a scary thought.
It is, and it's something that we need to be aware of as we develop this technology.
So it's a double-edged sword.
It is, but I believe that the potential benefits outweigh the risks if we're careful.
Okay, well, let's shift gears back to AI consciousness for a minute.
Right.
We've talked about how AI could solve problems and shape societies.
Right.
But what happens when AI becomes conscious? How does that change things?
That's a question that philosophers and scientists have been grappling with for centuries.
It is a tough one. If AI becomes self-aware, do we treat them differently?
Do they have rights?
Do we have responsibilities towards them?
It really challenges our fundamental understanding of what it means to be human.
It's a whole new world.
It is, and it's one that we need to start thinking about now before it's too late.
Wow, we've covered so much ground in this deep dive.
We have. It's been a whirlwind tour of AI frontiers.
It really has. And I have to say, I'm still buzzing from all the possibilities.
Yeah, it's exciting stuff.
It is. One of the things that's really stuck with me are these brain-like chips. Yeah, this idea that we're building AI that functions more like our own brains.
Neuromorphic computing, it's really a paradigm shift.
It is.
Yeah.
And, it makes you wonder if we can create AI that thinks more like us. Could it eventually feel like us too?
That's a big question.
It is. Could these neuromorphic chips one day experience emotions or have subjective experiences? Could they develop consciousness?
That's getting into some really deep philosophical territory.
It is.
Yeah.
We're talking about creating something that we don't even fully understand ourselves.
Consciousness is still one of the biggest mysteries in science.
It is. So it seems like a pretty daunting challenge.
It is a challenge, but it's also an incredibly exciting one.
I agree. And, this report has really made it clear that AI is not just a tool. It's a force that will shape the future of humanity.
It will, and it's up to us to make sure that it's a force for good.
Exactly. And you mentioned earlier that quantum AI could be used for both good and bad purposes.
Right, it's powerful technology, and like any powerful technology, it can be misused.
So how do we make sure that we're using it for the right reasons?
That's $1 million question, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
We need to be mindful of the risks, but we also don't want to stifle innovation.
It's a balancing act.
It is. So what's the one key takeaway you hope our listeners are left with after this deep dive?
I hope they come away with a sense of awe and wonder at the possibilities of AI, but also a deep understanding of the responsibility that comes with it.
That's well said. It's easy to get caught up in the potential risks, but this report has really shown me that there's so much hope and potential too.
There is. It's an exciting time to be alive.
It is, and it's up to all of us to embrace the challenge, ask the tough questions, and work together to create a future where AI benefits all of humanity.
I completely agree. The future is not something that just happens to us. It's something we create.
And with AI as our partner, the possibilities are truly limitless.
They are.
Well, that's a wrap on our deep dive into AI frontiers beyond the horizon. Thank you for joining us on this incredible journey.
It's been a pleasure.
And remember, the future is in our hands. Let's make it a good one.